Today we are going to talk about the biggest issue facing the sports card and non-sports card hobby today. Stick around. Hello to all my sports card collectors, investors, all of my collectibles friends. How are we doing? We've made it to the end of the week. We've got the weekend ahead of us, and I'm excited to get to it. Frankly, I am ready for the weekend. If you're new here and looking for pretty much daily sports card and collectibles content, you have come to the right place. Please hit the buttons down below, the red subscribe button, so that you're notified every time there's a new video that comes out, and they are plentiful. Also, connect with me on IG at SportsCardDad, and if you're on Twitter, the Sports Card Dad. All right, guys, today we're going to talk about shill bidding. And while this is kind of a tired subject, it's become more and more of an annoyance to me and a lot of people I know and just a lot of hobby people in general. You see a lot of YouTube videos, there's Instagram posts. Most recently, we're seeing kind of V-Friend stuff where you have individual cards that, 2 weeks ago were selling for 5 figures and now are selling for a few $100. And it really gets under my skin when I just keep on seeing this. We saw it with, a couple weeks ago, we were talking about Patrick Mahomes, Silver Prism rookie card PSA 10s. Well, they're all Silver Prisms in that year. But the point is it's another card that's just shilled to death. It's a very difficult thing to prove shill bidding. But to me, it is the biggest problem the hobby faces today as far as pricing, as far as moving the needle forward. And frankly, I think this is also a big reason why people are hesitant to move into the $10 to $1,000 cards and then move into larger cards like a $5,000, $10,000 cards. I can speak for myself. I'm one of these people. I believe that I represent a larger percentage of the hobby that's buying lower to mid-end cards as opposed to the higher end cards. There's so much talk on YouTube about, exquisite RPAs and one-of-ones and whatever that the majority of the hobby either can't afford, don't really care about, etc. And so this conversation is more about the everyman, the everywoman that's out there just buying regular cards. So what holds back somebody that typically buys $100 card, $300 card, $500 card, and maybe a $1,000 card occasionally? What would hold them back? Well, the constant threat of there being some weird shill bidding going on. And yes, you can set a price as to, this is where I'm going to bid and this and that. But here's the issue though. Part of what is driving you to gauge, okay, what's a fair market value for this particular card is recent comps or past comps and comps of comparisons, past sales, etc. And so when you're looking at past sales, what if you're looking at shill bidded stuff? And I think that's the issue when you're looking at, cards that are popular but are fairly plentiful, like the Patrick Mahomes Prism rookie card, the LeBron James Topps Chrome rookie card. These are cards that are fairly plentiful and non-paying buyers on eBay. I've noticed that with a couple of auctions I've had over the last year where, something was purchased, it was not paid for. And then I kind of wonder, I'm thinking I wonder if this person did this to show it as a comp in eBay, because that's what the majority of the hobby is using to figure out, hey, what's a fair market value price for this particular card? And this is a problem. It's a problem whether we're talking about eBay or any other auction site. There has to be more measures in place to figure out how to stop this shill bidding. And I kind of wonder if eventually over time they start doing less and less auctions or doing different types of auctions to thwart this type of thing, because there's always so much emphasis on zero feedback bidders. Well, if I'm a shill bidder, I'm probably figured out they're probably figured out that zero feedback is a little bit shady. So I'll build up an account that's got 9 feedback or even 30 feedback or whatever and buy just random things on eBay so that I can build it up so it looks legitimate. I mean, if you're doing this is the worst type of crap. This shill bidding stuff is ridiculous. And I understand people are trying to make a quick buck. It's not ethical and it really shouldn't be legal at all. If there's some sort of gray area, I'm not an attorney in this area. But man, if there was more consequences for people that were, shilling their own auctions, or their buddies are shilling it, or they've got another account that's shilling or whatever it is, I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous. And while I obviously love to make positive content on the channel, I love the hobby, I love cards, I love collectibles, obviously, look behind me. I also need to call this stuff out as well. And I do it on my channel. It's pros and cons. There's different positive, negative news stories. But this stuff is just getting so out of hand. I really feel like this is the number one target. This should be, I mean, you've got security issues, obviously, with fake slabs and fake cards, but shill bidding should be on every auction house's, or just a sales site, whatever it is. And maybe auctions start to fade away. Maybe there's just a different way of buying cards where it's more buy it now with offers, and that's the way to go so that you don't have to worry about this sort of thing. Because I think that, just the old way of doing it and might not be working the way that we want it to. And I'm just not sure if it's serving the hobby. There needs to be some sort of protections in place for this sort of thing. And I know the big auction houses do have certain protections in place for people that don't pay. They usually get kicked off. But I would like to see more and more in this area. Where is kind of the innovation here? There's been a lot of information as far as new platforms and new ways to buy and sell. I would really like to see more innovations, and it's coming, but more innovations around security. And really, it's security for the customer. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I've got all the solutions. I certainly don't. All I know is I'm tired of seeing these sorts of headlines, and where, of course, big money flows into a market, you're going to have bad apples that flow in as well. But man, let's figure this out. All right, guys, have an amazing rest of your day. Stay healthy, stay awesome, and I will talk to you again later.